Hey there and welcome back to my channel. If you are into vintage lenses, you might have heard about modding or rehousing them. Now, as a hobbyist filmmaker, you might be thinking, I'm not trying to shoot a Netflix series or a Hollywood blockbuster, so is it really worth my investment? I totally get where you're coming from and I felt the same as well. So don't worry too much about it. Just hold on a second because there's a lot more to it in today's video and I'll break down the pros and cons of modding and rehousing lenses. Stick around because I'll also explain the differences between the two and share the top 5 affordable places where you can give your old lens a new breath of life, a new change without breaking the bank. So do not miss out. If you're on a budget and thinking about upgrading your vintage lenses for use with modern cameras, modding can be a great first step. It's like giving an old car a test run before a complete overhaul, a complete revamp. Modding lets you understand your lens better, discover the quirks, and also decide if a complete rehousing is worth it. However, be aware that modding might not necessarily solve everything, and this is the caveat. The original casing of the lens may still have problems like greasiness, fungus, haze, cloud distortions in that lens. Also, there might be slight friction in the aperture and focus ring. SimMods is a company that offers modern products like front cube rings and follow focus gear. Their prices range from $100 to about $500 depending on your order. You can also find lens caps for as low as $15, but things may have changed, so don't quote me too much on it. Another option that you can also look into is follow focus gear, which offers similar services. They don't provide mount adapters, but those can easily be purchased on Amazon or eBay for a very low price. Both modern companies ship internationally and have responsive customer service. For a more advanced modern experience, you can check out Rehousing. They transform vintage lenses into modern video or cine type of lenses using 3D printed casing. They are relatively around about $350, but do not quote me on that as well. Keep in mind though that 3D printed casings are not fully rehoused lenses as the inner mechanics still hasn't really changed. While it improves the workflow and allows a large outer lens diameter with bigger matte boxes and filter lenses, there may be still quirks in the friction and tightness of the aperture when you're turning it and focus ring. Now let's talk about rehoused lenses. Getting a rehoused lens is a smart long-term investment because these lenses are super sturdy and as everyone says on YouTube, they are built like tanks. Well, they're not necessarily because you can still blow that crap up. They are stripped down and handcrafted by experienced engineers, giving you a clear optic without fog haze or mold issues. The lens gets a tough metal casing, avoiding the flimsiness of cheap sort of industrial materials that are done in the factory. The aperture and focus rings become smooth and it's easy to turn, unlike some of these other lenses. Each lens is customized to fit your needs, like housing a mount that works with your camera and a right diameter for accessories as well. You can even have focal scales changed and it can either be metrics or imperial, f-stops to t-stops. Some companies even offer extras like focal reducers for certain APS-C lenses. So if you want to give your lens a unique and special look that modern lenses can't quite achieve while still keeping features that make your work easier, rehousing is actually the way to go. A rehoused lens brings vintage charm and durability to your visuals, offering a blend of classic style and modern functionality, giving filmmakers the best option for both worlds. When you invest in rehoused lenses, it's not just about the gear, it's about enhancing the look and efficiency of your filmmaking process. And this is why people gravitate towards rehousing lenses. Some people go for rehousing to create also the cinematic look at a cost accessible to just regular filmmakers, cinematographers like us. So for example, a rehoused Canon FD lens can mimic the cinematic feel of a K35 Canon, providing a soft and a much more gentle roll-off touch to your images. Or you might want to look into the legendary Carl Zeiss Super Speeds, and it can be replicated using the Contact Zeiss and the Nikon AIS lenses for a sharp, more contrasty sort of dark tone look. Rehousing your lens can get very pricey though, and there are companies that are like starting from $5,000, making it even really hard to kind of spend your money on these sort of things. But do not worry, this is why I'm here shooting this YouTube video. There are affordable options that won't break the bank, and I have 3 companies or 3 places that offer reasonable rehousing services under $4,000 per lens. Just to clarify, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. They haven't even reached out to me, or I haven't reached out to them. They don't even know I'm talking about them on my channel. So this is something that I've explored to, potentially look into for future rehousing. The first up is TK Lenses. They offer affordable full rehousing for various vintage lenses, including the Carl Zeiss, Nikon, the Canon FDs, Leica, Olympus, and much, much more. You can check their website. They are based in Bangkok, Thailand, and they started in 2022 and are very transparent about their costs. You can look on their cost calculator and calculate how much it will cost you on an estimate, per lens. They mention on their site as well that they are a small group with limited resources. They just established themselves into the lower tier or mid-level type of market or for rehousing, and they don't really compromise on quality as well. So their quality is pretty good if you check their images. I don't have the lens with me to review and I can't comment necessarily, but the images and the clips look really fantastic. They have a site and a social media channel that you can contact them from for more details as well. The next one is to do with Kim Camera. What caught my eye about Kim Cameras is their quick responses and unfiltered raw images they share on their Facebook and eBay. They don't really beat around the bush. Unlike some companies that use fancy software editing and they make 3D renders of their supposed potential product, Kim Cameras just, what you see is what you really get. I must admit, I was a little bit skeptical at first, but after some research, they are the real deal. You can check out their eBay and read their feedback. You can even shoot them a direct message and they will respond very, very quickly. Their prices are very budget friendly and they are fully rehoused set. You can customize it. They are based in South Korea with lots of experience, specializing in various types of vintage lenses, according to their social media. They've been around since 1977. Now let's talk about the third option, Iron Glass. Iron Glass is another company that is on my top 3 list, offering similar services like TK Lenses and also Kim Cameras as well. Their workshop is based in Ukraine and they specialize in rehousing Soviet and other vintage style lenses like the MIR, Helios, Zeiss, and other sort of Soviet style lenses. And their prices are very affordable, about $2,500 starting today anyway. Their HQ is in the UK, so if you're local, you can check them out. Keep in mind that prices and completion times may vary based on your specification and market condition, supply, demand, and even the specialist availability. They seem very, very legit, and you can see many of their reviews on YouTube. You can reach out to them on their website, or you can go on their social media channels for more information. They are quite responsive as well. One cool thing that I like about these rehousing companies is that you can send them your lens for rehousing and they can do a very, very good job for you. Or you can literally ask them the lens that you want and they will be able to find you one. But the price will obviously increase. And while I can't really personally test the quality of their lenses, since I do not have these lenses with me, Iron Glass does offer rental services for these lenses and I might reach out to them in future to try that out. Okay, now if I were to pick any of these lens companies, rehousing companies, if I were to pick any of these 3 for rehousing, I think I'm going to pick Kim Cameras. Now I'm going to explain why, and this is just my own personal perspective. I have a Fuji X mount and I'm sticking with it for now to avoid the expenses of buying different cameras and lenses, because camera services can be expensive. Kim Cameras and the engineers have assured me that they can meet my specifications and my requirements without breaking the bank. Of course, there's a bit of risk involved in all of this, even with the others I've talked about, which is the time that I'll receive my rehoused lenses. And typically 4 months to a year is what they tend to normally say. I'm trusting that the results will be great when I do it, as I imagine that these are great companies as well. To conclude with everything, these companies are amazing for attempting to even provide high-end, budget-friendly rehousing option, a combination of words that I actually never thought I would hear in the rehousing market. I'm very excited to get my hands on one of these rehoused lenses in future, and I'll talk about that a lot more in my review. Well, that pretty much wraps up my today's video for modding and rehousing. vintage lenses at an affordable price. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and always make sure that you comment and just check out the links below. These companies are fantastic. Right, I'm out. Speak to you all soon. Later.